Hello everyone, can I get a mic check? Mic check 1 2, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Alright, cool. Alright guys, today was a pretty good trading day. I mean, it was a red day. Overall, I feel pretty good, you know, about my trades. Couple of mistakes, though, that I want to go over. Frustrating stuff. Now, okay, I won't even say it was a good trading day. It was just a trading day that I learn a lot, and I kind of go over it, and I'm like, you know, like what was I thinking, right? You know, like how did I get myself in that kind of situation? And I know exactly why. So we're gonna go ahead and go over that. But today SXTC was a trade on here. It took a small loss, ton of slippage. It was a small, tiny position, but damn, that thing's really thin. Thought we were maybe gonna get some Momo with MTC. So, first of all, we had a solid trade, you know, out of the gates. AXL was one that was on my watch list, just for the fact that it was bouncing. And I want to go ahead and go over this trade, which I was really happy about. Pretty damn good trade. Let's see, so let's go over AXL here. Okay. So you can see AXL down here. You can see this thing is taking a severe tumble, right? I mean, this thing is definitely taking a severe tumble. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red candlesticks in a row on the daily. And this thing opens up, and what it does is it wicks. It wicks to the bullish upside. And when I saw this wick, I immediately got in, risking off this 7-11, seeing 8 to 9 red days in a row. If anything, it's due for shorts to cover. If there is some shorts in it, it's also due for a bounce just because it's so oversold. And this is on my watch list. I usually have about 7 to 8 stocks on my charts in the morning, and I have those stocks there because I don't want to miss anything that looks the best to me. And so AXL, guys, AXL was one that I wanted to go over and show you guys. So the reason why I like this is because 7-11 held. It also showed a bullish wick, and immediately I got long. You can see here, I didn't mess around. I took 8,000 shares at 727. And really, you know, I was getting long like right here, but I got a little slippage, and then I waited for this thing to consolidate, and this thing ripped up to 740. And you can see here, I'm not taking anything off until we get to about 761. Took 1,000 off. 762. Took 1,000 off. 2,000 off at 760. 2,000 off at 767, and the last 2,000 at 773. I rebought at 764. Sold at 771. 771 for a nice little, probably I think it was like a $200-300 gain, and then I took another trade here on the breakout above 775, and didn't get any follow through, and took off that position. And here was the biggest mistake of the day, guys. So MTC, guys, MTC, I saw on the scanner all morning. So MTC, guys, I was literally, you know, I saw this thing on the scanner all morning. Finally, I started watching it like right in here, and I had it on one of my charts. I kept seeing it perk and kind of consolidate, and I didn't realize how clean the pennant was forming here, but it was higher lows and lower highs into this wedge right here. And I was watching it right here. I mean, I saw it perk up. I didn't want to chase it at all and see this thing flush back down. It was on such light volume and no news that it was hard for me to take a position. I was very close to taking a long here just due to the consolidation and risk off VWAP. Very close, and unfortunately I didn't take the trade. Obviously that I can go back and I can say I wish that I would have. But, you know, seeing that kind of trade today set up, I mean, that's beautiful stuff. And again, I went over this yesterday and saying that RKDA is probably going to cause the small caps to heat up. And what do you know? I mean, this literally went from $249, $250 all the way up to $13, $13.30 almost. No, $13.33-ish range, $13.34. And really, in like 2 or 3 hours, I mean, and on no news, guys. Literally, all this is, and I was telling the team this today. If you're in our room here at normacnotrading.com, I was telling everybody this today. I said, this, and I'm not, you know, this is just what happens. What happens when you see a low float pump like this on no news, and after a runner like RKDA, what this is just chasers. It's just, in my opinion, what I call, and I don't mean to be mean, I just think it's not the smartest of money. I call it dumb money. You know, why the hell are people buying this for no reason on no news and literally just buying it? Well, it becomes a trading vehicle for people who missed out on RKDA. You know, I've seen it time and time again, and this is where you can make the most money, the easiest money, because it's not, these traders that are getting in here are not necessarily the smartest of people, in my opinion. Because they're just buying something that literally is you know, not doing anything. There's nothing going on with this company. There's no news. It's literally just, you know, people buying it to buy it as a trading vehicle. And then what happens here is, I'm sure there's a lot of shorts that were starting to get in here, and they got trapped. And look at what happens when you get trapped as a short. Comes all the way back down to 675, rips all the way back to 13. I mean, there's plenty of volatility there to take some trades. But and I didn't get in I was so close again, but it was just a little bit too much risk. I mean, and it was a little choppy on lower volume up until that point. You know, like, you know, it takes 20,000 shares for this thing to go up to 395 from 250. I mean, and then this thing consolidates all over VWAP. All of a sudden we get another perk off, you know, 35,000 shares. We go from 350 all the way up to 430 off 35,000 shares of volume. I mean, that's nothing. Then we get a wick back down off VWAP, and then we grind back up, and then now we're above 5, and this thing's consolidating. And before you know it, this thing's traded probably 200, 300K shares, and it's up 100+%. And now this consolidation phase is where I really get interested, because I like to look at long consolidations and that give clear risk offs, and I wasn't able to take that trade. It's very close, but it was a bit too choppy, a bit too low on volume, and you can see here, lower highs, higher lows. We get so tight, there's no volume, no one's deciding what's going to happen, and then finally, boom, the bulls take over. And I almost bought in here 510, but I really didn't want to see this thing fake up and then crash all the way back down. I mean, it's just so light, right? And so, you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. But seeing a stock up 350% usually causes a sympathy play. And this is where IMAC comes in. IMAC, I thought was the perfect sympathy play to this stock. You know, 350, 400%, RKDA, small caps are getting hot. This thing actually had news this morning at 7:55. This thing ramps to 535, and I'm getting long in here in the $5 range. Okay? And then this thing obviously is very volatile, but I had no problem with that because MTC just showed this thing can wick, come back up, on very light volume, so I wasn't worried at all. Comes back up to 510, and we're starting to break out. The bids are coming in, and then we kind of fail again. And then, you know, I loved it because it was a lower float. The time in sales, the level 2 looked exactly like MTC. It was a little bit higher in starting price, but there was really nothing running on sympathy play to MTC, and it's not the perfect sympathy play, but sometimes when you see people chasing like MTC on no news and what I call dumb money, you know, anything can happen with any which stock. It doesn't have to have news, but this thing actually has news. It registered status with the US FDA. I mean, that's not terribly great news. It's not bad news. It's just, you know, it's decent news. It's not negative news. I think that's positive news. So I'm thinking, okay, you know, this thing's got some news. It's got that low float kind of ripper. It's a former runner. It's got the same kind of price action as MTC. You know, all these things kind of combined, and you know, this thing can rip up with very light volume and very, very quickly. So I had no problem going long on this one. Now the problem that I made is I started to see that it looked kind of heavy. I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of buyers coming in, not a lot of bidders. The ask kind of kept walking it down a little bit, and when I see that, I kind of cover that in my DVD. I go into detail about that when the ask kind of walks it down, the bids aren't there. But you know, I go over this and I'm like, you know what, I should probably take some off just in case. There was a 490 bidder, and I really wanted to take some off just to play it safe, take a 10-cent loss in case this thing flushed, because all it takes is 10,000 shares and this thing's back down, right? But also at the same side, it's 10,000 shares on the way up as well. And I really thought that those MTC buyers, those MTC traders, those RKDA people, were going to see the news. They're going to see this thing consolidate, and we're going to rip and ramp up to 6, maybe even 7, and potentially $8. I mean, I literally had pretty high hopes for this thing. I mean, I felt like I was in the driver's seat. And yeah, it's a low float stock. Yeah, it's a low volume stock, but we're here to make money. We're not here, you know, to care about any of that. We're here to make money, and you know, MTC, if you're not here to make money, then I wouldn't even trade that, because MTC's garbage. You know, that thing's probably going to go back to where it started tomorrow or the next day. You know what I mean? So, you know, yeah, there are plenty of stocks that go up and they go down in small caps, but we're here to make money. We're not here to complain. We're not here to say, oh crap, you know, we lost. You have to move on when you lose. You take your winners when you can. You know, that's just the name of small caps. You know, you get multi-day runners like RKDA, you get spoiled. You know, it's a multi-day swing trade right there. But not all the time does that happen. Sometimes you get an MTC where it goes to 300% intraday and comes all the way back down. But if you don't take your profits, that's your problem. If you don't want to make money, that's that's on you. We're not here, trying to say this thing's going to go to, 100 or this thing's going to hang around all day. No, we're just here to make money. We're here to take advantage of momentum, and that's just the name of the game that we trade here every single day. Now, when trading mid caps, it's a little bit different. IPOs, kind of the same concept. It just takes longer. What's BYND at? BYND, I'm a firm believer on this one. I'd be holding a longer term short on this one. I don't think this belongs up here. It reminds me of Tilray, This can happen not just in small caps, but it can happen in mid caps and large caps. I mean, Tilray went from $24 to $300 all the way back down. Now it's at $46. So, it doesn't have to be small caps. These things, do you want to make money or do you not? Do you want to sell on this way up or do you want to have it come all the way back down and you're just a bag holder, right? 9 times out of 10, when stocks go that crazy that quick, you don't want to hang on too long, because things like that can just boom, boom, and, you're done. So we're here to make money. Don't get frustrated if you're trying to hang on multi-day, multi-week. Sometimes that's not the best move. IMAC, though, I held some of this overnight because I think that if this gets on the scans, again, especially in the morning time, this thing can rip and ramp. Okay, just because now people, I'm a firm believer and we're going to have a runner tomorrow. We're going to have a low float runner tomorrow. I think it's at least going to go 100%. It might already gap up to 100% pre-market. We will see depending on all the news and everything. But we're going to have a hotter market tomorrow. We have RKDA and now we have MTC. It's going to be a hotter day. I can almost assure it. Nothing's ever 100% in these markets. But I'm going to be looking for lower float stocks. I'm going to be looking for, small float, low risk, high reward entries. I mean, if I'm getting in at 5 and this thing consolidates at 450, oh yeah, and plus this has a beautiful chart. This thing's been consolidating at 380 and 450 for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2.5 weeks it's been consolidating at that point. We get a breakout over 450 and it's a flag breakout on the daily candlestick here. So not only that, but it's a flag break, and I really like that as well. So I'm keeping this one on watch. I took a little bit off, but I'm still holding a lot. Oops. And so AXL, I started off being up 3K, but I got too much size on a stock that is so illiquid. And as you can see, I took a hit on the account. I got as high as 62,000 a day. I felt happy about myself. I told myself, okay, let's not overtrade. Let's not make any stupid trades. Whoa, what just happened to Tilray right there? 4602 just printed. Oh, it's just a misprint. I told myself, let's not overtrade. Let's kind of take profits. And I kind of felt a little bit like I should kind of take a step back. And I think that's why I didn't take a trade on MTC, was because I didn't feel like I needed to push the button. I was up $1,200, $1,300 in 2 days on my Robinhood account, or $12,000, $13,000 on my Robinhood account. I was up another $4,000 or $5,000 in my TOS account. I was up another $5,000, $6,000 in my Ustock account. I went back-to-back green days on this, $2,500 and $3,500. So I was up $6,000 in 2 days on my Ustock account. So I just didn't want to get too aggressive. And honestly, that cost me. And I have to be able to realize when to get aggressive and when not to. And maybe I take a small position in MTC. Maybe I just test it out. Because even if I just test it out, that's a huge win. And yes, it doesn't always happen like that. But that's just the way it goes. But guess what? Look at this. I mean, I'm in pain. I mean, I go from 62 all the way back down to 52. Now, if IMAC goes crazy tomorrow, that won't be the case. But if it doesn't, that's just the way. That's just the price you have to pay for stocks that are very illiquid. And I don't usually trade these, but when I see something go 400%, of course I'm going to trade it. I'm going to go where the money's at. I've traded long enough to know a lot. 9 times out of 10, that's what happens. People come out and they look for anything and anything to buy. And MTC was it. And obviously I wish I was on MTC early in the morning, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, guys. So, but on TOS we're up. What are we up today? I got to look on my phone. P&L of the day, we're up P&L open, we're up 4,000 on the open. P&L on the day 2,400, and then yeah, so that'll be interesting stuff, guys. So that's really all I had today. Watch out for lower floats tomorrow. I do want you guys to know, I think I screwed up. There's still a little bit of time left to try. Let's see. There's still a little bit of time left to try the trial. I thought yesterday was the last day. I believe it's still going. Let me double check. Yeah, so anybody who missed out, of course I had more people telling me they missed out. The link is in the description below. I just posted in the top chat, as well as the Normac Newell scanner settings that I use are available as well on our website and in the link in the description below as well. I used the all-in-one scanner. I couldn't trade without it. You know, this thing has AI technology in it. They've been around for almost 20 years, and you know, without it, I wouldn't be able to find the stocks that I can find. I mean, I don't have 10 to 15,000 different pairs of eyes and 10 to 15,000 different chat rooms. Nothing can compare to the scanner. I mean, without it, I wouldn't be able to spot any ideas without it. I mean, I'd be able to have 8 tickers on my screen, but how am I going to find everything that has volume and volatility to the upside and the downside without using the scanner? Literally, I just can't. It makes no sense. It's like trying to get through a maze being blind. It will not happen. You know what I mean? This thing is the eyes and ears to the market for me, and I continue to use it every single day. You guys might hear it in the background, but that's the first thing I turn on every morning. I look at the gap up and the gap down scans. So you can go ahead and check that out. I use the all-in-one scanner. It has the gap up, gap down scan, social media scan, float rotation scan, hold resume scan. Those are some really, really important scans, especially the float rotation scan is one of my favorite. Those are only on the all-in-one. You can't buy those separately. It's an add-on that only comes with the all-in-one. And yeah, one other thing I wanted to cover, so you guys have any questions about that, feel free to put them in the top chat. One other thing I wanted you guys to know, NTEC, guys. NTEC was something that I just found out, and this, I think they just put this on their website today. I don't know, but I just saw this. In their pipeline, guys, they have a cannabinoid treatments for various pain indications, of cannabinoid treatments for. So you can see here in their pipeline, they're looking at cannabis. So this is becoming a cannabis-based stock. Now maybe they're doing this to raise their stock price. I don't know, but they might have just added this into their pipeline, CBD and THC right here in their pipeline. And so this is a super important thing to notice, guys, because over time, people are going to realize this. And if you haven't already noticed this, NTEC, guys, has gotten crushed. Absolutely crushed. This thing gapped from 3.20 all the way down to 41 cents. Okay, guys? 41 cents. If people start to realize that this has to do with cannabis and CBD, just that alone, we could gap to, you know, I don't even want to give out any numbers, but we could gap above, you know, this 63-cent mark or this 68-cent mark. I mean, it's entirely possible just on that news, because guess what? It gives itself hope. They have something in the pipeline that can really, you know, raise the stock price. I mean, we saw it with IGC. How dare I go to IGC? IGC basically just had cannabis to its cannabis in its name, and this thing went from 36 cents to 14.58. Okay, yeah, we were in a weed craze, but still, I mean, that just shows you how nuts things can get when you talk about weed, especially when this thing comes all the way down from $3 on I think it was a failed trial, and now they have something added into their pipeline that has to do with cannabis and CBD. So keep that one on watch, guys. I believe that just ended up on their website. I don't know how I found that, but keep that on watch for tomorrow. A red day overall. I don't know my P&L on the day. I think it's about, I'm down like $3,000 overall. You know, IGC. This doesn't even count because I'm in IGC, just in case this is at 110 right now. So really, I'm only down like $500, and then this account right now, I'm down. So I ended up 58.6, I think, yesterday. So what is that, 6,000 bucks, but in TOS I've made today 3,000, so $3,000 or $4,000 down today. Only a third of what I made yesterday. So you know what? If I can come back out of it tomorrow, if I can come back on my horse, and just stay consistent, don't get too emotional, make smart trades, make safe trades, know when to be in the driver's seat and know when not to be in the driver's seat. These things are very important. So, any questions about the scanner settings or the Trade Ideas trial? They only do 3 or 4 times a month, which is right here. You can try them for $8.99 right now. Today might be the last day. I thought yesterday was, but I guess it's not. Today's probably is the last day, I'm assuming. You get a week trial from their premium subscription, which they only do this 3 or 4 times a year. I use the premium subscription. That costs $228 a month or $2,200 a year. So if you use this, you're saving a ton of money just to get an idea of the trial and how to use it. I 110% recommend it if you have any interest at all on trying a scanner out. Like, without a doubt, I would 100% sign up for it just to give it a shot. And if you don't like it, you don't like it, but you really have not much risk and very high reward. And that's what we love to see here at NormackNoTrading.com. So, any questions about anything along those lines, please ask now. MTC had a nice strong close. I will be watching this into tomorrow. This could be a gapper. It'd be nice if it was a gapper, but again, that CBD thing is pretty big. I mean, again, it kind of reminds me a little bit of IGC. I'm not even gonna lie. IGC had been getting crushed. This thing used to be at like $1.64. It was down to like 30-40 cents. And the thing went to $14.58, basically just being a CBD company. Like, it just had CBD in its name, or like cannabis in its like description. They work on some CBD cannabis-based thing. Now we're NTEC, and this thing is severely oversold. And now they're showing cannabis in their pipeline, CBD in their pipeline. So it's something to watch tomorrow. Could be a gapper. It'd be kind of. Hopefully, we kind of run like YRIV. That'd be kind of cool too. We've been seeing a lot of this lately, so there's a lot of positives to this type of move here. And Frank DeVoid, can you start 1,000 to a mil again? When I get my Robinhood account to 1 million, because I'm on my way to 1 million on my Robinhood account right here. Where'd it go? So I started with $1,000, and now this is I'm up 641,000 now. I need to get this to a mil. I mean, I literally hit in this date here 1 million unrealized, and I didn't take profits. And now it's just it's this phase of like, basically higher lows, but long consolidation, and it's just frustrating stuff. I mean, I went on vacation for 35 days, so it's not all that bad, but I should be now. Come on, I should be pulling it up. I gotta start making some trades. I gotta start being smarter. I can't let one trade ruin my day. You know what I mean? I can't let IMAC I can't take a green trade and then have the one trade pull me all the way back down on 2 or 3 good trades. It just can't happen. That's unacceptable. So yeah, maybe eventually I'll do that. I did my first 1K to 1 mil on Ustock. I'm doing my second one on Robinhood, and maybe I'll do my third one on TOS. I don't know. But you guys have all the videos to go back on my YouTube channel to go look from when I started with 1,000 and go to 1 million. So that does help. You don't need me to start over like that because I have all those videos there. So, anyways, guys, that's really all I had. Yeah, it's really all I had today, guys. So, please like and subscribe to the channel. Click the icon to alert you if I make new videos. I'd really appreciate that, guys. Without further ado, I think I'm gonna head off here. And I will see you guys tomorrow. I guess I'll give it 30 more seconds for any questions on scanners. Any question on scanner settings? Any question on anything to do with the scanner, the trial, anything at all? Let me know. Farnoosh, you're welcome. Joe R. Yeah, AI was overwhelming today. Yeah, it can be very overwhelming. Again, the scanner itself is going to take a little bit. You know, I don't cut through it. I deal with it. I have different voice. Like, okay, MTC is starting to get a little bit of volume right there. I have basically like a color-coded voice in a way. Like, my voice, if it's going on one of the Normac Newell gap down scans, or sorry, the Normac Newell low flow dip by scan, it's louder. It's yelling at me louder. If it's on the washout long scan, it's yelling at me even louder. If it's on the momentum scan, it's a quieter noise, and if it's on the parabolic volume spike scanner, it's even quieter. So by the pitch of the noise of the AI yelling at me, which I call barb, I can tell what scan is actually going on. That way, when I pull it up, I know the stock's already going down. I already have it prepared in my head, or the stock's already going up because it's on the parabolic volume spike scan. You know what I mean? Either or. So yeah, it's very configurable, and I'd recommend contacting TI. They have great customer support. Yeah. Any other questions? Alright guys, I will be heading on out. Please like and subscribe to the channel, click the icon to alert you if I make new videos. Check out the links in the description below. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers team, and go Hawks! Yeah, that's right, go Hawks, man, they're back. First preseason game. Can't wait. Alright guys, see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.